and even the number believing the country was on the right track, despite the bad news, temporarily spiked during his first few months on the job. But now, nearing the end of his first year in office, the economy, the wars, and the legislative skirmishes finally have taken a poll on the president and his party, according to the latest NBC News Wall Street Journal poll. For the first time, Obama's overall job approval rating has fallen below 50% to 47%. In addition, for the first time since September 2007, a plurality, 45%, sees the Democratic Party in a negative light, and the percentage believing the country is on the wrong track, 55%, is at its highest level in the Obama presidency. This survey underscores what I consider a dramatic and unmistakable change in the political landscape, said Democratic pollster Peter D. Hart, who conducted the survey with GOP pollster Bill McInturf, something. For Democrats, the red flags are flying at full mast. So anyway, I forget where the rest of what I wanted to say. The public's frustration with the direction of the country has rubbed off on both Democrats and Republicans. In addition to Obama's job approval rating at 47%, fewer than 4 in 10 say they are confident he has the right set of goals and policies, which is down 15 points since his election. And only 1/3 have confidence the president has the right goals and priorities to improve the economy, down 13 points since June. Yeah, that's about it. So there was also this poll at one point that believed that if there were to be a Tea Party, like the Boston Tea Party, as opposed to the Republicans and Democrats, more people from both of these parties would go into the Tea Party. And it's more than Republicans, but less than Democrats, because more libertarians, like myself, would consider themselves more Republican than Democrat, only because of the economic conservatism that I've been talking about. So, but then again, like I also have said, real Republicans, or Republicans as they are now, are not really conservative fiscally, because they aren't taking into consideration wars and all this other stuff. So, anyway, so that's about Obama's approval rating. What else was I going to talk about? I know there was one other thing. There's always one other thing, right? I'll think of it. All right. So I also one other thing. I got a like a Christmas card. Let me announce this. The whole crew got a Christmas card from one of our long-standing viewers, apparently, and I still don't want to mention his name because that's I haven't asked for permission, but I just got this today, and that's awesome. Basically, he gave us the Citizens Rule Book, and this is pretty interesting. The table of contents say it all, really. Well, first of all, it's a handbook for jurors, and it also has sections on Patrick Henry, William Penn, Thomas Jefferson. It also has the original documents of the Declaration, the Constitution, and the Bill of Rights. That's pretty cool. Thank you very much. This is interesting stuff. I just want to mention one part I found pretty interesting because I was going over it in one of the shows, and this was the part on the Communist Manifesto. Let me try to find that quickly. So let's go over the the Communist Manifesto. There are basically 10 planks, they call them. And the first one is abolition of private property. And you can start doing abolition of private property with eminent domain. And you've seen this a lot lately, especially in New York. Abolition of private property, heavy progressive income tax. Now, I've mentioned this already. 1914, we started the income tax, and that was right after the Federal Reserve was instated, which was plank number 5, having a central bank. Plank 3, though, abolition of all rights of inheritance. And the state is trying to do that, or, you know, what I call the state. The nation is trying to abolish inheritance, you know, through the death tax. What can be called that? They would confiscate all property from immigrants and rebels. So New Jersey does this. They take 50% of things, or at least money, that you have when you leave New Jersey to another nation. Number 5 again was the central bank, and the Federal Reserve is already here. Number 6, government control in communications and transportation. We already have that. The FCC, that kind of thing. Department of Transportation, obviously. Government control on communications. They want to do that with the internet now. And that's like the best way for us to communicate. At my point of view, at least, you know, the libertarian stance, the most activism I've ever seen is on the internet. You definitely don't see them as flyers or through ads on television, that kind of thing. So the internet is our way of communicating, and they now want to crack down on that. And I'm talking the federal government. Number 7, government ownership of factories and agriculture, and apparently they're trying to do that with factory farms, you know, that kind of thing. I still don't know a lot about that, but I can see that happening. Government control of labor. Need I say more? 9, corporate farms, regional planning. Like I said, factory farms, regional planning is the idea of separating people from cities into just spreading out so that people would have equal amounts of property, and therefore the government can control the property because, you know, you all have the same amount of property. You might as well just give us the control, or at least that's the basics of it. Anyway, government control of education, that's number 10. And yeah, we already have public schools. We already have public colleges. They don't control the colleges or anything, or private schools, but, you know, if you have that kind of competition, which is good, competition is good, but if you control, eventually it will be all controlled, especially if within the next 3 years this kind of this taxation stuff really climbs down on us, because then, you know, there won't be any money in the private sector really, and then the government will control it all. That's the idea of it. I mean, it won't happen just quickly or anything. I'm not saying that. It's going to happen very slowly. It's the only way it can be implemented. And, you know, that's how the USSR worked, that kind of thing. And China basically works like that. There are ways that China is freeing up its economic laws, which is good, in certain parts. But it's still a communist country. And we're getting there. If you don't stop it now, you know, this kind of thing really can happen.